Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham D. And I am sat here in Twitch attire. This is my Twitch hoodie. And I am joined by Bibby, who is sat there in Twitch attire. Good morning, Bib.
That's me. Good morning.
I do like that shirt. I mean, I've got the grey version. Is it like if you sit up? Has it got the bleed purple heart on that one, or is it the Twitch logo?
No, this is just like the regular heart. Sorry, this is just like the regular logo.
The glitch logo. Yeah.
I think this one came out before the one that you've got. I think this was like, remember when they did the 50% off sales?
Yeah.
I think this was old stock, so I think this is probably a lot older than the one that you've got.
So
I've got a white T-shirt as well with the Twitch logo on, which I think is older than the one that you've got too. I think I've literally just bought like last year's stock, but I don't care. It's got a Twitch logo on. That's all I care about.
I get what you're saying. You're the OG. I'm just.
Yeah. Oh. You're the new boy.
It's all right. There is only one OG Bibby, and he'll be listening to this later on. Go on, Bib. Get a tweet in. Go on, get him told. I bought something from when that 50% off. I actually got the shorts that match the hoodie on as well. So I've got the shorts and hoodie on. I bought a few tees. And then when there was the 50%, I don't know if it was like early New Year or something, there was 50% then, and I added a bunch of stuff to the basket, and then like all the hoodies went before I even purchased it, so I've just left it all there now, so that when stuff comes back in stock, which will be never, thanks to COVID-19, that I could just spaff a load of money on it. But Amazon, if you want to do another 50% off on all Twitch merch, then yeah, help your boy.
Now's the time.
But anyway, welcome to the channel. Obviously, my name is Graham. I've said this is Bib. We together are part of Team Ice Cream, and in true ice creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, your daily dose of news from the world of video games, where we bring you the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories that are out there. We give you our thoughts and impressions. We want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions, so we can have a little bit of a backwards and forwards. And if you were live with us, as we are right now, at 10 a.m. ish on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, feel free to get involved in the chat. If you're watching, please say hello. If you think we say something you disagree with, please let us know. And that's important that you do that, because we turn this into a YouTube video and an audio podcast that goes on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. I mean, we are the UK's #1 video games podcast, even though we do say so ourselves. And part of the reason for that is because you guys get involved in the chat, so make sure you do. What'd you get up to last night, babe? Any games?
I played golf about 5 o'clock, and then when I came back, what did I play? I played like 4 rounds of the golf club to just try to get my career mode finished on that before the new game comes out. And I tell you what, I've been buzzing for a new golf club game for a while, but the new one is due to come out. I think it's August 21st. But they kept in the back pocket that it will also be coming out on the Nintendo Switch as well, which I am more than happy about, because there is no golf simulator games on the Switch at all. It's all shit party games. So the fact that we're getting a proper golf game on this Nintendo Switch has made my day. So I'll be getting it probably for the PC, definitely for my PlayStation, and almost certainly for my Nintendo Switch. So I'm going to be out of pocket by quite a lot of money. So I played like 4 rounds of that, then played 1 game of PES, got my ass handed to me. And then went to go and watch the Undertaker documentary. The first part, the second part comes out on Sunday. Phenomenal if you are interested in wrestling, but the Undertaker, he still gets me excited, man, when I see him on my TV.
Do you know what we should have like a live watch along of Bibby's Twitter feed when he talks, because it's funny, because what Bibby said is pretty much like, so if I open up Chrome now, We've got Babinho says, "Oh my sweet baby Jesus!" Okay, put me down for a hat trick of purchases: PS4, Steam, and finally a Nintendo Switch golf sim. But then if we go back to the Bibarino channel, and then I still get excited when I see the Undertaker on my TV. There we go.
It is though. It's exciting, and like when you hear that gong, and the whole place goes dark, and then you see the purple light and the fog just come out the ground. It makes me happy, man. It makes me so happy.
It used to be like, I remember it, like the lights would go out and you just hear bong, and then you get the whoo. When he used to have like his old, I don't know if he still has like the whole sort of like death match as his intro music anymore, but you used to get hyped. And then I remember Sting going to WCW and the lights went out, you knew it was Sting. And then Kane showed up in WWE, and when there was a period there where the lights would go out and you'd hear nothing for like what felt like 4.5 minutes. It was only about 4, 5, 6 seconds, whatever. But you were then like, is it Undertaker? Is it Kane? Is it Undertaker? Is it Kane? And then you get boom! It's Kane! Oh. Yeah, class.
It just makes me so happy. But that Undertaker documentary is phenomenal. It's like 1 part of 5, I think it is. So the second part's on Sunday, so I'm looking forward to watching that one again. But enough about what I did with my time. What did you do yesterday?
I don't know if you can see the hat that I'm wearing. I pretty much did what you'd expect. I played some PUBG, did my daily missions, finished off my weekly missions. For those who don't know, you get missions every day. Just 3 little missions every day, which you can then, once you've finished them, you can use your in-game currency to buy more to give you to work towards. I don't usually buy more unless I fly through them and I've got and I expected to have a little bit more time on it. But yeah, I did my dailies, and then every Tuesday you get your weekly missions, which refresh by the next Tuesday. So I just made sure I went through all them last night. All those add towards my battle pass, so that I'm like level 40 out of 100 or something now. So slowly trickling my way through.
Yeah.
One thing I did see on your timeline, which was something I was going to bring up anyway, but I clicked on it whilst I was there, was this tweet from Asim. So obviously you mentioned PGA Tour. This tweet from Mr. Tassim Anvia, industry
Very
leaker, reputable source for all of the information that you want early on time. So yeah, busy video game times ahead. 19th of May, Mafia 2. Is that definitive or deluxe edition? DE, whichever one it is. 19th of June, The Last of Us 2. 10th of July, F1 2020. 17th of July, Ghost of... I keep saying Ghost of Tsushima, but it's watching the State of Play stuff last night. It's Ghost of Tsushima, but there we go. Paper Mario, Tok. Is that like the Tick version? Tick, Tok. No, okay. 21st of August, PGA Tour 2K21. 28th of August, Mafia DE, Definitive Deluxe Edition again? I don't know. But 4th of September, Avengers. 4th of September, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. 17th of September, Cyberpunk 2077. Ridiculous couple of... I mean, in an extremely good way. Because, like... Not that we haven't had any good games for a while. We have had quite a few, but this is what we kind of used to post E3 going into Christmas. You can get those periods where you just absolutely spaff out. And I was thinking to myself, do you know what? I'll be surprised if we get something like that this year. But look at that! Damn! Like,
all I can see is about 600 quid's worth of games there.
Oh hell, that's me! Says Asim in the chat. Good morning, Mr. Tassim Anvia, notable. Reputable industry leaker. Yeah, that's a lot of money gone. I mean, Mafias, I will have to look at. The Last of Us, obviously. Formula 1 I will pass on. Although I did see some of the FIFA content creators, Footwiz Dan and Chesnoid, tweeting yesterday. They've both just bought like the full F1 setup, car seats, gears, and everything.
Oh yeah.
So that they can play through that. So even though I'm not going to play F1, I said, look, I'm not into F1 whatsoever. But I definitely want to see your setups when they come. I do love a good like immersion setup like that. So yeah. Ghost of Tsushima. Oops, sorry, go on.
No, sorry, it clicked out. And what was you saying?
I was just going to carry on going through the list, but you were going to say something about setups.
Yeah, I remember when we was at Arcade Club playing in the F1 cockpits there. That is something different. It's amazing to feel like the resistance in the chair, in the wheel as it's in your hands, and you're going over a bit of gravel and stuff like that. The whole immersion of those setups are unbelievable. It's hella pricey, especially for playing in VR. But I think Asim mentioned it yesterday. Like Aguero's become a streamer now. Like he's just streaming on YouTube, and I think he was playing in an F1 competition with some professional race car drivers.
Amazing.
And that looked amazing as well. I don't know whether or not he bought it or they just rented it in, but he had the full cockpit. He had the screens in front of him. He had the full kit and caboodle. But it just looks amazing. That would actively make me want to play those games a lot more rather than using a controller.
Yeah,
I had all of that set up.
You think if you've got like something that does the rumble for the gravel and the textures like that, what you need to do is get like a steering wheel sort of area mounted fan, so that when you put your foot down, the fan starts to speed up, so you get more air whooshing past you. Just like, oh my god, I can feel the wind. I mean, underneath the helmet and everything, obviously, because but still. Obviously standard. Next up, Ghost of Tsushima. I will absolutely be in that. Paper Mario, I will swerve that one. PGA Tour, not for me, but I mean, something gives us the impression it might be for Bibbs. 12 formats later. Mafia, once again, I'll have to look into. Avengers does have my eye, as does Iron Man VR, which has obviously been postponed even further back. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, yes. Cyberpunk, yes. So yeah, there's definitely a good at least 300 quid in there that could weigh me down. So, god damn it, video games! It's amazing to go from so much excitement to fuck. That's a whole lot of money. But it's good. It's good. Better to have the choice than not. That's actually something. Do we have? Mafia. We need Mafia in the list, don't we? We don't have the Mafia stuff. Because I can't remember who. Someone in the chat yesterday was asking for us to talk about Mafia, but because we had a busy day with the Unreal stuff, we shelved it for today, but we hadn't done it. Anyway, I'll start off, and then we'll see if we've got time to include that one in a bit later on. But obviously, what's that?
I've just typed in Mafia news. I don't know why I typed in Mafia news in Google, but Italian police now have 91 Mafia suspects in mega raid, and then drugs, mafia, and alcohol in London now.
Do you know what? We should have that as a regular report. It's now 8 minutes into the show. Let's check out the local Mafia news. But no. Jumping first news article. Ghost. Oh, yeah. Have you got it?
I've got an article ready if we have time, so I'll just leave that tabbed off and I'll send it to you if we have time to go through it.
Nice. Okay, first news article of the day. Obviously the one we were going to lead with after last night's State of Play. Ghost of Tsushima continues to look stunning in latest video reveal, and there's a black and white samurai cinema mode too, written by Matt Wales for Eurogamer. I've only seen the first 5 to 10 minutes of this. I know it was only like 18-20 minutes long, but I've only seen like a quarter of it, so there's still a lot for me to learn as we go through this. So let's go. Ahead of its 17th of July launch on PS4, Sony offered a closer look at developer Sucker Punch's open world samurai adventure Ghost of Tsushima, and if there was any doubt left after previous showings, it's looking utterly breathtaking. At its heart, Ghost of Tsushima appears to be a fairly traditional open world adventure, enabling players to explore the titular island, chill out, mate. Engaging with enemies along the way. There are 2 paths to the action. The samurai path, which sees protagonist Jin entering direct confrontations with opponents, and the ghost path, which offers a more stealthy approach to challenges. The former gives players access to a range of combat stances, with different stances proving more effective against different enemies, and sword play is built around needing to parry enemies at the last possible moment in order to break their defences. As for stealth, it's your usual game of sneakery and distraction, with players able to toss firecrackers, ring bells, or drop smoke bombs to get the slip on opponents, grappling to higher ground if need be. None of which sounds like a particularly radical deviation from similarly styled games. Actually, let me just see if I can tinker with my cookie settings to get this video stuff to show up. Come on, do it.
Do it, man.
I've allowed my cookies on Eurogamer so many times. There we go, finally. Let's jump back. So, just wanted to see what the video content was within it. Oh, okay, it wasn't even worth it. Anyway, none of which sounds like a particularly radical deviation from similarly styled games, but that's hardly a complaint if it's sufficiently satisfying to play. And besides, I'd wager most people won't be signing up specifically for Ghost of Tsushima's action, but rather to get thoroughly lost in its staggering, beautiful world, which we were offered another tour of today. Indeed, Ghost of Tsushima is gorgeous, packed with endlessly arresting vistas that forever dance and sway in the wind, all shimmering blades of grass, swirling leaves, drifting fog, and flexing boughs. There are fields of rich, deep greens popped with starkly coloured flowers, mountaintop shrines bathed in yellow blossoms, mist-shrouded lakes, moonlight-hued settlements, and more, and it's never less than stunning. Better yet, Sucker Punch is doing its damnedest not to distract from that beauty by incorporating navigation mechanics integrated naturally with the world. Sony's latest livestream showcased the Gilding Wind, for instance, a more immersive take on your usual objective marker, with its directional gusts pointing players towards their next chosen destination. And for those that thrill in off-the-beaten-path exploration, subtle visual cues, whether they be smokestacks, unusually shaped trees, or wild animals, are used to tease players to points of interest. Foxes, for instance, will lead players to shrines where minor charms can be found. There's certainly a touch of The Witcher 3 about Tsushima's horseback exploration and scavenging, but again, that's hardly a poor core to build your own unique action around. Elsewhere, Sucker Punch gave a brief look at charms, which are used to increase the potential of different abilities, and at armor sets, each offering different mechanical advantages and customizable using die flowers. There's also a photo mode featuring familiar options such as colour grading and depth of field, as well as more exotic additions, including the ability to adjust wind direction and particle effects, adding drifting fireflies or dancing leaves at will. Rounding off today's close look at Ghost of Tsushima, Sucker Punch confirmed a Japanese voice track will be available for added authenticity, and that those really wishing to lean into the game's samurai movie aesthetic can opt for Samurai Cinema mode, which increases the wind, adds a stark black and white filter, and amplifies film grain. More will be revealed, according to the developer, in the run-up to release on the 17th of July. Comments from the chat. Mr. Asim Tanvir says, it's a thing of beauty, this. It's like they made a game for me. I mean, we were talking before we came on air. I was asking Bib his thoughts. And it's quite funny because you've got Bib who's like, it's pretty much a good job we're not showing the bottom half of his body when we talk about the golf club, because, you know, that stuff can't be shown on Twitch, TOS. But then on my side of things, Captain Flaccid when we're talking about the golf club. But then we talk about Ghost of Tsushima, I'm like, eee! Bib's like, do you know what, it's just not for me. Which, it's more the latter one that kind of surprises me, because Bib played through The Witcher. Bib is like Elder Scrolls in and stuff all the time. Skyrim's on he's literally got Skyrim installed on each one of those earpieces on his Astros. Yeah, it's not for the whatever the reason. Is this they're taking it? Oh, mute. Go away, you're a gamer with your added videos.
Do you know what though? I think I may have changed my opinion because I'm just looking at the trailer now. And it looks like the combat system is where it'll always make or break me when it comes to games like this, and it looks very similar to like the the Batman game, shall we say, in terms of the combat, which does excite me quite a bit because that, for me, I love that combat system. They use something similar in Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. They use something similar in Mad Max as well, which is also a brilliant game if you've never played that. So if it looks brilliant. I'm watching it. As I said, I didn't watch the trailer yesterday because I didn't really have the interest in it. We like to cover the stories because everybody else is. So me just getting to grips with it myself is something that I'll have to do. But watching the trailer back now, this gameplay trailer, it actually looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm more than happy to have my opinion changed on most things, and this definitely looks like one of these things that may end up changing my opinion. I've recently done it with Assassin's Creed, and this trailer does look like it's something that will break the mold for me as well. It looks great. It looks great. It's the stealth stuff. I don't think I've got that in me anymore to be playing a stealth game. It's like I absolutely adored Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 growing up. The third one I didn't really get to grips with, and I haven't really played many more since. But I don't think if I went back now I'd be able to play the games as stealthy as I did. I think I've just gone past that phase where I wanted to do stealth stuff, and that's what worries me, because I won't be able to go in and just shoot the place up and shit.
You didn't play Metal Gear Solid 3?
Well, no, I did. I've got it here in my collection.
Oh, I was going to say.
I've got 4 or 5, and also, thanks to Asim, the Metal Gear Survive as well, which I must be one of the only people in the world that actually enjoy playing Metal Gear Survive. I don't know whether or not it's because I was playing with my friends at the same time, but yeah, it's Metal Gear Survive. I like the base building aspect of things, so that for me fit in with what I like to do. So going out collecting supplies, go back building my base, that's me. Do you know what I mean? I want to go out and I want to go and salvage a load of shit.
That's a common misconception with it, though. A lot of people will tell you Metal Gear Survive is a horrendous, horrible game, whatever. And it's usually, the reason I'm going to horrendous, horrible is because it's usually that end of the spectrum. Like, very, very bad reviews on it. Metal Gear Survive in itself is actually a really good game. It's quite solid, and all the logic.
If it was called anything else,
yeah, exactly,
it would have done really well.
If it was Base Builder League. I don't know why I did that. Rocket League was the first game that came to mind, and I was like, but if it was something like that, then yeah, something with such a quality engine and level of build behind it would have been fine. But it's the fact that it's sat within the Metal Gear universe. I completely agree with.
Yeah.
I've just
everything that happened with Kojima moving on and the series continuing without him was obviously going to turn people sour anyway. But if it was called anything else, I think it would have done quite well. But moving back to the stealth aspect of things, Metal Gear Survive isn't a stealth game by any stretch of the imagination. But I don't think I've got that in me to play a full game in stealth. It looks like when you get alerted, you're able to go in and just stab people up and that.
Stay alert.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'll change my opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what we need to do? We need to get the that Paul Rudd. Look at us sort of video. Baby, soon to be playing an Assassin's Creed game and Ghost of Tsushima. Look at us. Who'd have guessed it? Not me. Look at us.
Well, I think that's what I'm moving to. Again, I am more than happy to change my opinion on my mindset, especially in games that has a long-standing series. If it's gone a bit stagnant, like Gears, I haven't touched a Gears game for so long because they got a bit stagnant. Halo, again, I can't remember the last time I played a Halo game, barring Halo Reach that came out on the PC because I hadn't played that one, so I was actually enjoying playing that, but I like the fact that they're not afraid to change something, and if they are going to change something, that may bring me back. Saying that I'm basically going off Assassin's Creed, but this Ghost of Tsushima, I wasn't that interested in it, but looking at the trailer now, it's got my attention, and I'm more than happy to admit that.
Yeah, it looks pretty solid. Looks pretty solid. But you guys can see it. I've put the link in the chat if you're on Twitch. Obviously, it was broadcast, I want to say 8-ish, 10-ish, whatever it was last night. I don't know. I was mid PUBGing anyway, and I got an alert on my phone, so I did. That's the only reason I've watched a quarter of it, because when you're in the middle of a battle royale and you have to stop in a building, you can give 30 seconds, but you can't give full 20 minutes. So yeah, I've put the link in through to the Twitch broadcast. It will be, no doubt, all over PlayStation social media channels anyway, if you want to check that out. But maybe keep away from Twitter. Maybe have a look on YouTube. That's probably the safest bet, because if you go on PlayStation Twitter, you guarantee now it'll just be full of Last of Us spoilers. So be careful if you go check it out. It does look really, really good. I did see the wins sort of being the guide, and I thought that was a pretty cool thing. I was like, what are about the wins? So I'm there reading this little pop-up in the bottom corner, and it was basically, you think of Fortnite, you jump out of a battle bus, you put your marker down, and you get like some big glowing like stack of light, a pillar of light into the sky going, you're going here, and you get kind of similar sort of things on, I mean, I can't remember how it does it on GTA now. It's been that long since I've done it. Do you get like a line to follow, or is that something, whatever it is? Some games will give you like glowing lines that you have to follow, and Ghost of Tsushima is this ambient, atmospheric, almost like sort of, maybe feudal Japan. Is that the right phrase? I don't know. But they've basically put a lot of time and effort into immersing you into this game. And if you then go, I want to go from A to B, and the game goes, flashing lights to B! It's like, well, there goes the immersion. So to do that, to give you a holding hand direction, a literal, like a white stack, like a pillar, or not a pillar, like a horizontal beam comes up, but not in a garish way. It's just like the winds. The winds are going, this way, go this way, go that way. Yeah. So you're just following these like wind gusts, and it looks incredible. It looks incredible.
It's not invasive.
Ghost of Tsushima looks stunning. More like Bibi looks stunning. Am I right? Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not too sure. My hair's all over gaff this morning.
No, I'm on board with Ghost of Tsushima. Yo, ma. Spelling mistake. I love you both anyway.
It does look good. It does look good. I'll give it that. I mean, it ticks all the boxes. It's got an atmospheric atmosphere. I'm getting that on a t-shirt, by the way. The main thing that I love about this, the main thing that I love about this as well is the developers have given you two ways to be able to play this game. You can play it as they intended it, or like they said in the article somewhere about if you wanted to play it in a samurai cinematic universe, that you can turn the color off and you can play it in black and white. I imagine the blood may still be in red just to show it off a little bit more. but you've got two different ways to play it to your own personal preference. So that again, it's just going the extra mile to give people an incentive, or they want to be able to play the way that they want to play, and that again, you've got to give big ups to the developers for wanting to do that.
I like that they've included that, because that's not for me, and I know it's not for a lot of people. There's a very, very small number of people that are like Kevin Costner in Bodyguard, where he sits there and he watches his black and white samurai films, where you got like old school stuff where the samurais are kind of like walking with their hands almost in where you'd have your hands in a hoodie pocket, but like inside their sleeves, the sword sheathed down at the side, and then all of a sudden it's like the wow, oh, they've taken out 6 people with one like thing, but it's like the full on niche cult samurai stuff. The fact that they've included that, obviously, it was a couple of things. It tailors to those people that like that sort of content, but that is quite a small number. But also, what it does is it shows you where their inspiration is. They've taken the inspiration from those sort of films, and they give you the opportunity to play in that inspiration. A lot of people won't touch it, I imagine, but it is definitely a nice little addition. Drops kids, yo, stir. Stir
How's it going?
with a spoon. But anyway, Connor, Buzzkill Connor, are you still here?
Yes.
L Connor, hombre. Yes. There he is. Yeah.
Good morning.
I'm just gonna have to keep that subscription. Ice Cream Will Close was gifted a sub to Buzzkill Connor the other day, so we can't get rid of it. I'm just gonna have to keep it. I'm sorry, mate. But yeah. Thanks to.
Oh, in fact, while he's here as well, I need to ask him a question. Now I've got his attention and he's here. This Unify tournament that they've got going on for Valorant, is he playing in it or is he hosting it? Because I want to know, because this could be potentially something that we might want to get in on. I only seen it yesterday, but I was meant to text him but didn't.
I'm gonna go. What?
So, Unify or Unity or whatever it is that he's running, it's a competition with Valorant, so it's like a 5-man tournament. But I've no idea if it's like open for everyone or what. I was meant to text him, but I haven't. So if he's here now, if you could enlighten us, because that may be something that we want to play in at weekend. So I'm playing in it, and also I own half the company that the guy who made it now is full for this weekend. Motherfucker! You need to let me know next time.
Do you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like an excuse. It sounds like fear.
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah, it sounds like, oh shit, I can't let these guys in because it's just. I mean, I understand it. Is half. He owns half the company. He wants the competition to look good. It just doesn't want whitewashing all over the place. So, understand? Oh, I'm getting first rounded either way. You're not getting first rounded. You're the guy that fucking like no scope headshots like people with the op like 3 times in a row. Get out of here. That clip was sick, by the way. If you have that, post that in the chat just so that other people can see it. But it's pretty sexy.
Next when you get going though, you need to let us know, Connor, because I only seen this yesterday, and I was meant to text you, and I'm fucking lazy and didn't. But these Valorant tournaments is where we need to be.
Goddamn right. Getting smashed, but still, actually, can we like sign up like Skadoodle or something, just so it'd be like me, you,
I've got Shroud in my contact, so I'll just give him a bell. I'm sure it'll be fine to go on.
Yeah, me, you, Alpe, Ferno, and Shroud.
Shroud don't even need us.
That's what it is. Shroud has one man to full team again.
Shroud rocking up a 56 dub.
Operation Human Shield or whatever it is from South Park. That's us.
That'll be us.
There we go. There's a link. Do you know? I'm gonna play it. I know we have quite gone off tangent from Ghost of Tsushima, but you know, let's bring this on screen. Apologies for video quality. It is a Twitter video, so you know by the time the video buffers and looks good, it'll be finished. But it's just one of those things. The way he called it then as well. Someone's about to get no scope right now. Bang! Oh no, it's this one. Nope, this one. Bang! Bang! Headshot, and then bang! Oh! That is ridiculous.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, GG. That's phenomenal. I mean, yeah, whatever. I didn't really like it anyway, so whatever.
Do you know how many times it says someone clip that in his streams? He'll shoot someone with a pistol. He'll be, someone clip that. Someone clip that. He just wants to make montages, doesn't he? He wants to be a content creator now.
You've got to click that button on your dashboard, mate. Stop being lazy. but
Do
yeah,
that.
if you've got people there, you know how many times I'm making same plays, says Connor. 2 is the answer. 2. Is it 2?
Both been clipped.
Anyway, let's move forward. Next news article. So after me and Bibby made the brave decision of talking about GTA 5 yesterday, Epic's servers went down. So, I mean, some people say it's something to do with it being free. I think it's more the fact that GTA 5 was covered on The Scoop, and we told the world it was free. So apologies, Epic, for killing your servers. But yeah. Demand for GTA 5 causes Epic Games services to buckle. Car crash, written by Emma Kent for Eurogamer. You know how many times I'm making the same plays? 1. You just watched it. Morning, you slags. Morning, KK. Now then. So after rumours and a rogue advert, that was the leak where Epic managed to leak their own big news content a few hours earlier. GTA 5. Yeah, absolutely. They did it successfully anyway because their servers went down, so GG. Yeah. After rumours and a rogue advert, GTA 5 is now finally available to claim for free on the Epic Games Store. Or it would be if the launcher and website hadn't already buckled under demand. At the time of writing, booting up the Epic Games Store launcher when connected to the internet will only give you an error message. Epic has tweeted to confirm the issues, which it attributed to high traffic. We are aware that users may be encountering slow loading times, 500 errors, that's a lot of errors for one person, or launcher crashing at this time, and we are actively working to scale, Epic explained. We'll provide an update as soon as we can. We're currently experiencing... Oh, that's the tweet there embedded again. Along with the launcher, it seems Epic's website is also experiencing issues, as both the store and other pages are unavailable. I searched for how to open the Epic Games launcher offline and got hit with a 505 message when loading the website. Not sure what I expected, really. Along with making it impossible to immediately claim GTA 5, it's a bit frustrating for those who were hoping to play either online games this afternoon using the launcher. This includes Fortnite, of course, which is currently inaccessible from the launcher, although it's still possible to get in via opening the files directly. The Epic Games Store encountered similar launch problems back in October last year when Fortnite exploded its island. There we go, in a spectacular season finale. More recently, Fortnite hosted its most popular event with 12.3 million people tuning in to view Travis Scott, which isn't the character from Back to the Future, without any problems that time, all of which gives you an idea of the level of strain free GTA 5 is currently putting on the system. That last bit, actually, I didn't even have that in mind. 12.3 million people tuned into Fortnite to watch the Travis Scott in-game concert for free. 12.3 million people at once. I think it was, or was that over the weekend? Either way, 12.3 million people tuned in. Not a stutter, nothing at all. GTA 5 goes free and everything goes down. You've got to think there's more than 12.5.
Do you want to play devil's advocate with that?
Go on then.
All 12.3 people was not watching that on the Epic Game Store. They wasn't playing that on PC. That would have been across all consoles.
They all connect to the same servers though, don't they? So like,
yeah, I don't think it would cause the Epic Game Store to crash though, will it? Because as soon as you click, as soon as you run Epic on your PC, it'll say like library, game store, whatever. The whole thing wasn't working last night, was it?
Yeah, that's because of like the demand. I'm assuming that, like, with the way that he's put that there, which kind of makes a little bit of sense to me, is the fact that you take it's almost like a DDoS on a server. Taking one server down in EA can often take others down as well that aren't even related to it. So you might get FIFA goes down, it'll drag down Battlefield or something as well.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe they are completely separate elements. But
this wouldn't have killed the Rockstar launcher though, would it?
No, that'd have been separate.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like, if I was to watch the Travis Scott concert on my PlayStation, it wouldn't kill my PlayStation score, but it would have crashed the Epic Store on PC. I don't know how it works, but yeah, at 12.3 million people, it didn't stutter. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's the Fortnite servers, but I don't think that would have interfered with the Epic game launcher.
Well, Fortnite is obviously owned by Epic, and that runs entirely through their servers. The difference with GTA, obviously, you launch it on their servers and you have to download it on their servers, but then when you're in game, that's all of Rockstar. But that wasn't the issue because people couldn't even get to that point. There was so many people. Maybe it's probably something to do with downloads as well. So maybe there was more than 12.3 million people, or maybe there was half that number, but they were all downloading. Downloading is much more intensive than just playing. So it could have been that as well. All it takes is the first few people to go in and go, "Yep, I'll have that." Download, and then the server's like, okay. And then after like 6 million, it's like, fuck. So maybe it was that. Anyway, I logged on this morning. So if anyone still wants to get GTA 5 for the Epic Launcher, you don't even have to download it. All I did was obviously logged into Epic Games Launcher, clicked get, and then agree, and that's it. It's in my library now. I can download it whenever I want. So do the same. That way you'll have GTA 5 forever.
I've just got a coupon as well. I've just went in and downloaded it. Well, went to get it.
A £10 coupon.
And I pop up, a £10 voucher. What's that for?
That's the stuff that we covered at Christmas. Epic have kind of kept it going. Basically, they give you a £10 coupon to get £10 off a game of your choice. So you buy the game, get your coupon, save £10, and then it gives you another £10. It's kind of like the DFS sale that that never ends. It's buy it now to get it at a reduced price, and it ends on Sunday, and then it's like, oh, brand new sale starts on Monday, and it's like, but it ends on Sunday. It's like almost like it's a marketing gem to get you to spend. I mean, it is good in terms of if you don't notice it's there, you can still spend it without the £10 kind of thing, but. It's if you want to buy a game and you're looking at it, it's 25 quid. Okay, it's actually only 15 quid. And if you buy it, we'll give you another one afterwards. That's the one that worked at Christmas. I don't actually know if they renew this one, to be fair, so it might not be the same. I'm assuming it was that one. Does
it automatically go against any game that you want?
Kids' homework time. Keep it clean, lads. Keep it clean, lads, says KK. He says that after saying, morning, you that word.
I felt like your child's first word is the C-bomb as soon as they come out of the womb in Scotland. I've been looking at the Surviving the Aftermath on Epic Game Launcher, because that definitely does look like a game that I would love to play. So that's only £12. So if I get this, will I only pay £2 for it? Or do I have to pay the full price and then get the coupon? I'll have to look into it a little bit more away from this, unless anyone in the chat knows how it works. But
I may have not been listening because I was updating the discussion now. Say it again. You want to get what?
So there's a game on the Epic Game Store called Surviving the Aftermath, which is like post-apocalyptic, world's on its ass, you're a lone survivor, you have to build a base and stop the zombies from coming in and shit. It's £12, so I've got a £10 voucher. Can I put that on there so I only paid £2, or do I have to pay the full £12 and then get £10 off my next game?
No, I think it's you only pay £2. As far as I was aware, that's how it worked at Christmas. If there was something that cost 11 quid and you had a 10 quid, it was like basically, he said in the article, you'd only spend a quid and then you get your next voucher for your next game. It's to get you to keep purchasing, and not only the keep purchasing, it's more of the retention tool. So it's like, oh, that's a nice thing. But if you suddenly start to build up a library in Epic Games, you're not going to go, oh, sack it, do you know what, I'm going to go back to Steam games now, because you'll have games that you don't have on Steam sat there waiting for you on Epic. So things like GTA 5 is the build up the user base more than anything. Get more people to download, install, and have Epic Games there. That's what that is. So they'll have spent an absolute fortune to be able to give this away for free on PC. Rockstar will be like, cha-ching! Epic obviously can afford it. But the benefit for them will be the shitload of new Epic Games accounts that come from this. And then the £10 thing is then, okay, we don't just want it to be GTA launcher. We want it to be your Epic Games launcher, your Epic Games library. So here's a £10 voucher. Go and buy a base builder game for £2, and you're like, £2 for the shimmy, and that's it. You buy that one. It's another £10 voucher. Oh, go buy another one, and then suddenly you've got 4 or 5 games in. It's not just the GTA launcher now. It's your Epic library, and you're already bought into the system. Then, so it's a pretty smart way to launch it.
I mean, just check the T's and C's, and it says qualifying games only, and it has to be a minimum of £15.
Ah, boo.
So no base builder for Bibby.
Boo. Maybe I was going to say maybe add another game on, but then that kind of defeats the point.
I'm playing £50 and getting £10 back.
Yeah, add another game on. #ad. I personally, from my own opinion, that's completely unbought by Epic, really like the Epic Game Store #ad. I actually do really like the Epic Game Store, by the way. Yo, reminded me I needed to buy Deadly Premonition for Switch before it goes off sale. Get it now. You weren't here, Jordan. We were talking about what surely looks to be the game of the year the game and pretty much a game that has decided the console battle for the next 2 generations. We've basically seen Ghost of Tsushima, and we all agree unanimously, 100%, that PlayStation is just better than Xbox. That's just the conversation. We even sat down, me and Babe, and we had a conversation. And even though we didn't watch it until this morning on our phones on the toilet, we both saw the Ghost of Tsushima trailer and started crying because it was so beautiful.
It's so emotional.
I know, it just got me right in the feels.
I feel like one with the earth now. It's just broken that fourth wall for me.
The reason we're saying this, ladies and gentlemen, is obviously Enix is, and for no shame at all, there we go. For no shame at all, Enix is a huge Xbox fanboy. Even though he says he isn't, he clearly is. It was this tweet from him yesterday. We were hoping he'd come in when we were talking about Ghost of Tsushima, so we are backtracking a bit back now to go back to it, but I didn't want to bring it in if he's not in. There's no point. But there we go. People saying they're crying over how beautiful Ghost of Tsushima looks. Get a grip. Looks amazing, though.
Can you smell that? It smells like piss being boiled.
Stream quality was shit. Stop crying. It's only a game. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Good morning, though, Jordan. Welcome in. Closing the PlayStation link. Go back down. So yeah, GTA 5 is free on the Epic Games Store if you can get in. I tried this morning and it worked fine. Bibby, I'm assuming, has just tried because he's got his £10 voucher and stuff. So it's probably fine for you now. If not, just try it in like stages, and then you might be able to get it down there. I sold my Xbox yesterday, actually. Halo 2 PC is keeping my time. It's dead on Xbox. Last of Us 2 and Ghosts will be my last 2 games, I think. Whatever? Dun, dun, dun. Or are you talking about this gen? Or are you talking about in PlayStation? I mean, it could be any. It could be any.
So many caveats.
But do you know what? Let's move away from PlayStation and Xbox. Let's go somewhere else. I mean, where else can we go if we're not talking about PlayStation or Xbox? It has to be Nintendo, which has officially announced Paper Mario for Switch, and the Origami King is set to release in July. Ah, there we go. TOC. That's what TOC stands for. Paper Mario, the Origami King. Hey, I did not know. I've clearly not read this article before we read it. But anyway, let's go through it. Andy Robinson for VGC even says, Nintendo has announced Paper Mario, the Origami King for Nintendo Switch, and it's set for release on July 17th. The game will feature a detail-rich world to explore, off-the-wall minigame events, and countless mysteries to be solved, according to Nintendo. Origami King has been created by mainstay series developer Intelligent Systems and sees Mario and friends embark on a quest to stop an evil king. King Ole has bound Princess Peach's castle in giant coloured streamers and transported it to a distant mountain, reads Nintendo's official blurb. I mean, just if you read that, you just sound like you're absolutely... What happened there?
You what?
I was just about to say, if you read that, it sounds like you're off your face. And as I said it, I looked at Bib on my side monitor, and Bib just went...
I told you my throat's fucked, and my mouth is just... It feels like it's on fire. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I didn't know what was going on. I was like, is Bibby trying to lick his pop shield?
Yeah, it's that sweaty bag that I had last night. It's obviously I didn't. That's a joke. But my mouth is on fire. Like, I don't know what's going on with me. I'm falling to bits.
Anyway, where was I? Okay, I'll read that Twisting Your Melon Man line again. King Ole has bound Princess Peach's castle in giant coloured streamers and transported it to a distant mountain, reads Nintendo's official blurb. He's even transformed Bowser's minions into folded soldiers and enlisted them in his treacherous cause. Luckily, Mario is equipped with a range of new tools at his disposal to help secure victory. The RPG features a new ability called 1000-fold arms, which allows players to interact with the landscape by stretching out and pulling and peeling and revealing new locations, helping them solve puzzles and uncover secrets. Origami King also introduces a new ring-based battle system, which Nintendo says will allow players to flex their puzzle-solving skills to line up scattered enemies and maximize damage. These dynamic turn-based battles are said to be far from stationary and require a sharp mind. Oh, do you know what? It's not for me, but that looks really good. It's like Tearaway Unfolded, obviously. That's where I'd naturally go to, but it looks good. The new Paper Mario was first mentioned in a March VGC report detailing Nintendo's plans to celebrate Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary this year with several major releases, new and old. As part of its anniversary celebrations, Nintendo will reveal plans to re-release most of Super Mario's 35-year back catalogue this year, remastered for the Nintendo Switch, VGC was told, including 1997 Super Mario 64, 2002 Super Mario Sunshine, and 2007's Super Mario Galaxy. Nintendo will also release other Mario titles in 2020, including a deluxe version of 2013's Super Mario 3D World. Bib, thoughts?
I'm going to shock the world now and say that I haven't actually ever played a Paper Mario game.
Shock!
However, it's good. I know. The man that plays everything never played one. It looks good though. Again, it's I didn't know what to expect because again I've never played a Paper Mario game before. I do like the fact that it will be an RPG rather than it just being an adventure game. I'm assuming the rest of the Paper Mario
A
series
rocket-propelled grenade?
Actually, Luke says, actually, shockingly, I haven't actually played a Paper Mario either. I don't know what it is about the Paper Mario series. I can't tell you. It's just something that's never piqued my interest. But this looks good. To be fair, this looks good.
I think we need to. I mean, I've not even put the discussing now slate on, but I think we need to tweak what I had in mind for that. Anyway, Luke is a Ninty fraud. There we go.
Yeah, exactly. Like Luke is Mr. Nintendo. I'm not known for my Nintendo ness. So yeah, it's not the end of the world for me not to be able to play. But again, I call good games out when I see it, and it looks like a good game. I do like an RPG, and that's essentially what this is saying that it's built like. There was Bowser's Story, that was an RPG many moons ago, and there was a Super Mario game which was an RPG too. So yeah, I do like the fact that they've got two different kinds of games up the sleeve. They've got an adventure game and they've got an RPG up the sleeves as well. So if they want to keep on swapping and changing, because the last Mario game was Odyssey, was it?
Yes. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure that was the last one on the Nintendo Switch. I don't think they brought one out since. So if they keep on alternating between them, it's catering for both markets.
I just was updating the title then, that's why I was useless when you asked me the question. I changed it to Luke. Don't like using the word fraud, so I changed it to Luke is a Nintendo, and then in brackets Paper Mario. So just anyone comes in going what? I mean, it's not going to make any more sense putting Paper Mario there, but it makes me feel better about it, so there we go. Jordan says, what? Nintendo fan not playing Paper Mario? You disappoint me. You're supposed to be a Nintendo fan. It's my deep secret, says Jeroen. And then Enix, with a flawed statement here, is your deep secret is porn Twitch streamers. It's not a secret. He announced it on stream yesterday.
Yeah.
I think I'd love it, though, as, yeah, it's an RPG. It doesn't play at all like a normal Mario game.
Yeah.
The GameCube version is unreal if you ever get to play it. Every game gets compared to it since it's top tier. I mean, it's no tearaway unfolded, though, is it, really? Really? It's no tearaway, mate. Actually, I mean, this is what I was saying when I was looking at that. It kind of made me stop for a second, because, far less ashamed of the porn star Twitchers. Tearaway isn't my kind of game. On paper, no pun intended, isn't my kind of game. Played it and absolutely loved it on the Vita. So this could be. It just needs to actually get me to sit down and try it, which I'm probably not gonna do. But it does look cool. Looking at that big screen that I showed you, it does look like everything I enjoyed about Tearaway and on the Vita. So yeah, it could be good. But anyway, let's move forward at a pace, because we have a couple of things to jump through, and we've got some gameplay after this stream as well, so we need to hurry up and fly through things.
Oh my god!
What's up?
I've seen Assassin's going. So what you're saying is it's not terrible. Oh, it's like you and Gray were the same person.
I was looking. I need a sound effect that basically just like, the Shia LaBeouf sort of like.
That's what you need. That's what you need on the stream deck.
Or just a simple. So what you're saying is it's not terrible. Bam! Bam! Yeah. I appreciate that. Anyway, jumping into the next article. Ubisoft has warned that one of its upcoming games could be delayed. This is written by Andy Chalk for PC Game. The article says the current plan is still to release the 5 games teased in February, but COVID-19 is causing uncertainty. In February, Ubisoft said that it had 5 AAA games slated for release during sometime during the company's 2020-2021 fiscal year, which began on April 1st. It recommitted to that plan in its year-end earnings report today, but warned that one of those games could slip into the following year, due primarily to the higher level of uncertainty caused by the need for developers to work from home as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Neither Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot nor Frédéric Duguay commented on the likelihood of a delay during today's earnings calls. I nailed that, by the way. But the odds are significant enough that Ubisoft took the unusual step of including a range of financial targets for the upcoming fiscal year, just in case it postpones the release of a AAA title to 2021-22, Guillemot said in the year-end report. The COVID-19 crisis calls for prudence as numerous uncertainties have arisen. The transition to working from home has had short-term repercussions on our production. For the time being, limited to a few weeks. The coming months will provide more visibility on whether we can maintain our release plans. Guillemot went a little deeper. I'm doing that. I'm leaning into this for the rest of the article, by the way. Went a little deeper on the possibility of a delay during the earnings call, saying that with 5 major games in development, a few weeks on one can have an impact on the others. We are being prudent for sure, he said. We don't know what the next few months will bring, so that's why we are taking potential further delays. Taking potential further delays due to the situation, even if our teams are really working hard to make sure they tackle all the problematics for mocap testing and all the other potential issues we had. We are conservative, Duguay, I don't know that one, added. We don't see any specific issues on a specific game, but as Eve said, we are taking a generally cautious stance there. 4 of the 5 games expected to come out this year have been revealed, with Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, and Gods and Monsters. They were all previously known, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla was announced last week, while the 5th, coming from one of Ubisoft's biggest franchises, remains unnamed. That would seem the game most likely to be pushed into the next fiscal year, since Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, and Gods of Monsters are now in a polish period, and Valhalla is slated for the 2020 holiday season. No mention was made of either Beyond Good and Evil 2 or Skull and Bones, which remain trapped in limbo. Ubisoft pushed Skull and Bones to after 2019-2020 in its 2018-2019 year-end report, while Beyond Good and Evil 2 was last seen at E3 2018, where it did not make a particularly strong impression. It's possible we'll hear something about them or the 5th game Ubisoft has up its sleeve in July, when its E3-style showcase Ubisoft Forward takes place. So there we go. Ubisoft has a bunch of games. Where's the article? So we've got Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, Gods and Monsters, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. They are 4 of the 5 AAA games. There is another AAA game on the way, as well as Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Skull and Bones, which have been shown and then pulled and then kind of shelved while they jig things to get things out. But that's a big showing from Ubisoft. Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, Gods and Monsters. That's the Breath of the Wild one, it.
Yes.
So that's four very different and very, very good games there. GG Ubisoft.
I know a lot of people are waiting for the Beyond Good and Evil 2, just something else from it. So that's going to be interesting to see when that actually falls. But Gods and Monsters, for me, out of that list, is something that I am looking forward to the most. I mean, I can appreciate what Rainbow Six Siege and Quarantine will potentially be. I can appreciate them as games because they're so big. But for me, the thing that stands out the most in that is obviously the Gods and Monsters stuff. The Watch Dog thing, I've never been into Watch Dogs. It's never been for me. But yeah, it's interesting to say that they're in polish period and they don't think it's going to be delayed. But we've seen numerous games recently that have been in polish period that have been delayed significantly for the extra polish. So you can't take the polish period for granted at the moment.
I agree. I mean, I'm open to the idea of Watch Dogs. I haven't played any of them. Same thing that always is with me. I didn't get to play the first one, so I've just kind of like admired from afar. Rainbow Six Quarantine. I'd be interested to see whether OG Bibby's comment of that being something that works separately to Siege would work. If it is that or not, I'd like to see more of that. Gods and Monsters is one more for you and for Nintendo, Mr. Jiroon in the chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I like a lot of people, obviously because it's the big title that people have seen at the moment. I'd probably say Valhalla's my big one to look forward to. Yeah, I think that's kind of where I am. Although I'm intrigued, what do we think? What do we think title number 5 could be?
That's the thing. I really don't know. I mean, I think the first thing that stands out is I think it might be a new Far Cry game. NX thinks it could potentially be a Splinter Cell game. I know they're the two. Everyone. A lot of people are crying out for a new Splinter Cell game because it's been so long. There's always the rumors knocking about that it could potentially be coming out, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was new DLC for the Division or something like that, just to wind people up a little bit. Not because it's the Division's a bad game, but just means that everyone's expecting a new game, and it'll be something like a season pass addition to the Division. But yeah, I think in my heart of hearts, I do think it could be a Far Cry game. I don't think we're going to be seeing anything from Splinter Cell anytime soon.
Just having a look at Ubi titles to see. I'm kind of feeling, yeah, it's going to be one of those. I mean, it could be another Tom Clancy game, but after the bit of a flop that was Breakpoint, obviously you can't just say that's a Tom Clancy game because Siege is a Tom Clancy game as well. So I mean, it could be something from that series. I'm not sure. For Honor, we don't think. The Crew, could we be getting another The Crew?
Ooh. You see, I liked the first Crew. I thought it was the closest that I have experienced in a racing game since the Need for Speed Underground. I really, really enjoyed that. I didn't actually play the second one, but yeah, it would be interesting this day and age. Now, is the Crew still got the IP and the presence that people want to go back and play it?
Raving Rabbids, Rabbida. Yeah, not at AAA. I can't see it being the Crew. I mean, it could be Roller Champions, the game from 2020 that I've not even heard of. Or, I mean, maybe a new South Park. Who knows? A Steep sequel? Steep winning Best Sports Game at E3 a few years ago to then just disappear into anonymity. Could it be a new Steep? I don't think it will be. I don't think it. Rayman.
Just saying that the first South Park game was better than the second one. The combat system in the second one was terrible compared to the first one. That's what made or break it for me.
Yeah, but whenever you say the second one, you get to say the fractured butthole. So.
Right, yeah. Did you play any of them?
No.
Oh my god, they are brilliant. It's so funny. The comedy. It's like watching a South Park episode, but it's like 10 hours long. It's fantastic.
Nice. Yeah. I'm not sure what it could be. I mean, could be any of those, I suppose. South Park FPS again, so I can piss on snowballs and smack cows up. Was that PS1 used to be able to do that? Yeah. And you got like the ray gun as well from the earlier kind of thing. Yeah.
There was like a machine gun snowball launcher, so you could put like loads of snowballs and go and just fire them all out.
By the way, I don't know if you saw what I put in Slack social chat. Let's have a look. I did see those. So what Luke was talking about, it's a tweet from Jason Bradbury, I think it was. Or he's linked to it anyway. Jason Bradbury from Gadget Show fame. Let's put this on screen for you. So I love this free educational tours of ancient Greece and Egypt using the Assassin's Creed engine. No game required, just download the tour. Which I did see these. Basically, have a stroll around Greece and the Parthenon or whatever, or have a stroll around Egypt and go around the pyramids, whichever do what you want to do. But in-game using Assassin's Creed engine. So cool to see something like that, because if you're studying ancient Greece or Egypt or whatever at school, you're 10, 12, whatever year old kid, and you're just thinking, okay, ancient Greece, if done poorly can be extremely boring as feck. Same with Egypt. If done poorly, can be extreme, but if done well, it can be really, really exciting. Which is why we see shitloads of films. The fact that Ubisoft have leaned into it and used their engine for educational purposes is sick. So GG Ubisoft. That's kind of the thing I was talking about the other day when I was. It's not a negative at all, but I was saying they've kind of got that weird flair, and weird as in different, not as in bad, but that different flair, that sort of continental eccentricity that I kind of said, that makes them do the Rabbids and makes them do Just Dance entrances and makes them get BB Rexha on stage, that makes them go, actually, we'll use our blockbuster video game engine to give you a tour of Egypt. And it's off-centre, but it's not, you're not hitting, that's not what people do, but it works really well, and Ubisoft are really good for that sort of stuff, where they go where other people don't go, and I think that's pretty good. They do take risks, and they do miss the mark when they're off centre quite a lot, but yeah, sometimes it works, and that has to work. I'm going to give that a try. I'm going to see if there's any Greek or Egyptian stuff on Chloe's at-home schooling stuff, so that I can use it as an excuse to play video games with her. Yeah. Anyway, game was so funny. I missed games that because of the light in the background, it looks like Play Your Fart. What? Play. Oh, there. There. On this, I was like looking in the background of me. I'm like, what? Play Your Fart, but on the Assassin's Creed thing. I get it now. This here. Play Your Fart with the bird over it. That's the one. I get it now. Towerly VR game where you follow him around as he gets high. The way the bird is positioned, yeah, I got it now. It took me a while to get there, but I got there. Okay, let's move forward with a little bit more pace as we have one more news story today. Unless we have time to fit Matthew in afterwards, but I think we may be pretty much out of time because we have some Master League Adventures to jump back into straight after this stream. So
yes, we do.
Battle Royale shooter Darwin Project shutting down. Written by Sherif, Saed for VG247. The article says the life of the Darwin Project is coming to an end. Just bear with me 1 second while I blow my nose.
Shout out to Jordan for supplying this one to us as well. Just trying to fill in while Graham sounds like an elephant. Again, that purpose is for me because you don't get to see or hear any of that.
Yeah, you beauty. You enjoy that. Thank you for the pap. Darwin Project developer Scavengers has announced that it's ceasing development on the Battle Royale shooter. The game's April update will be its last for the foreseeable future, but servers will remain online at least until the end of the year. In a farewell blog post, the developer said it's been trying everything to combat the shrinking player base, but it couldn't solve the problem long term. Over the past years, we saw a decreasing player base and have been working hard on finding solutions from a new platform development, PS4, to bringing new content, class system, battle passes, systematic maps, customizable craft wheel, new tiles and live events, spectator interaction, extension, and continuous optimization, wrote Scavengers. We have assessed all potential solutions and scenarios, but unfortunately, Darwin Project is unable to sustain itself, thus forcing us to come to this very difficult decision. Darwin Project has seemingly always struggled after a fairly successful beta. It launched on PC and Xbox One in early 2018. Well, there's its issue. You chose the wrong console. The game's popularity on Twitch and elsewhere started fading soon after, however, forcing the developer to make the PC version free to play a month later. It's a shame too because Darwin Project had a really unique mechanic with the show director, which would control the flow of the match by targeting specific players, creating danger zones to force players together, and so on. It's Battle Royale meets survival in a dystopian TV show wrapper. We truly and deeply appreciate everything the community has put into the Darwin Project, the developer added. We received tons of passionate ideas and suggestions to improve the game, and it shows how incredibly supportive you have been throughout this journey. We can't thank you enough for your love and support over the past 4 years. Scavengers will now move on to other unannounced projects. It's a bit of a shame.
It is. I played this game and I actually quite enjoyed it. Fair enough, I didn't play it for long, as in I didn't play it for like 70 hours or whatever, but it was a unique way to play battle royale games, and it was quite a good game. But this just shows then, like, we've got Spellbreaker that's been in beta for a while, it's just constantly getting patched and updated and stuff like that. Will that game have the legs to be able to go on and compete with the rest of the battle royales, or is it just going to show the similar fate to this? I've really no idea. Like, is it worth bringing a battle royale game out now? Do you think the battle royale bubble has burst, and we're just left with. Obviously, Fortnite is still massive, PUBG is still massive, but is there going to be any games that come out that change the direction of how Battle Royale games play? I don't know. I don't think there's a future where you can have so many of them in one place and still be successful.
Yeah, it will be hard, just in the same way that that's what she said. Just in the same way that Doom was the first game to get, was it 9? I don't, or did it get 10 out of 10? That was an FPS. FPS is a market that's saturated, and forget game players. I'm talking journalistically right now. Journalistically, people, I've seen it. It's been done before. I want to see more. Give me more. So yeah, you've got a really good shooter, but it's just a shooter. I've seen shooters. Never mind. Whatever. And Battle Royale is in that sort of. It's still a long way off being saturated, but it's approaching it, and very very fast because of the way that consumers digest games, get bored of them pretty quickly and move on. So in that sort of sense, the battle royale genre has been developed. If you're not new to market, as it's a new genre, you're late to the market. It's as simple as that. So you have to offer something new, and it's a shame because Darwin Project did. It offered. I mean, a lot of people will say that don't know the background of Battle Royale. Obviously, the name is taken from the film Battle Royale, but in terms of the video games, the Hunger Games films was a huge boost. At the time of the Hunger Games films, that's what's kind of started that whole idea of putting everyone in and having them all fight to the death and so on. And I believe, like, what Hunger Games was that the Minecraft version of it? Like, so when they started playing it in Minecraft, they were calling it Hunger Games and so on. And Darwin Project took it further. Rather than it just being all fight to the death, you could be the curator, the director, whatever you want to call it, that got to control the game. So you could take it out on specific players, and you could help other players that aren't doing very well, or you could just be completely biased and make your mate win, which is just not fun at all. But the idea is, if you, from a streaming perspective as well, think of it from a streaming perspective, you can watch Summit 1G run around in PUBG, smash some people, get some kills, and yeah, Summit's got the skills. Summit then can go do some custom games where he creates his own lobby with his own community. He plays in it, he dies, and then he can spectate the rest of the game as the guy running the cam. But Summit running a Darwin Project game is kind of built for streamers. I mean, it wasn't built for streamers, but it suited so well to it that Summit can go, okay, we've got Babino is such a dick in the chat. Have some fucking mortar strikes. Bah, 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 bah. Meanwhile, NXPVP, we've got to pay him because he only plays rubbish consoles, so we have to. Bah, bah, bah. I'm joking. But yeah, the fact that you can have a little bit of interaction, it's kind of built for streamers in the same way that marbles on stream is it shouldn't work, but it absolutely does. Not that Darwin Project shouldn't, but marbles shouldn't work, but it really does because you can interact with and you can spectate your community all taking part in a game together and so on. Darwin Project should, but it just the market is so saturated. It's approaching that point, and it isn't saturated. The ideas of it kind of have been saturated to the point where people go, okay, forget overcomplicating it. We just want to be able to fight to the death, and anything beyond that, we'll start to think, okay, you're watering it down. I'm not sure. It sounds too difficult. It's not Battle Royale, so we'll just go back to Fortnite. Boom. So it is a shame, and I think that's kind of it. When it landed in early 2018, off the back of the beta period, it was doing very well, but that's because Fortnite hadn't told the world how Battle Royale should be. So at that point, it was still. Everyone was still thriving. It was this new up-and-coming thing. But then Fortnite, nope, this is how it is. It's 100 people, you fight to the death, and you've got squads and solos and duos. And not even duos, squads and solos. Boom, that's it, pow! And Darwin Project's like, oh yeah, but we kind of wanted to so that you could control... No, you just play, the game decides. And then also you can emote and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, well, we didn't want to emote. We wanted... No, you have to emote. It's like, oh, okay. So that's just kind of steamrolled. And it is unfortunate, but... I mean, obviously they will have investigated it. I would have thought something like a Patreon or something like that would have saved this, but clearly...
I think it still will get saved. I think there may be a lapsed player base that may come back to try and save the game that they've enjoyed for so long. Do I think it'll last much longer after it's been saved? I think it'll just keep on going around in circles. We're failing. Can you help us? Can you failing? Can you help us? I do think it will be saved this time round. I don't think it will do the next time round if it happens though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're putting this out as sort of a rallying cry, as in like, look, the game's going to die. Do you want to help us take it further? You could join the patrons on the back of that. Maybe that is what they're doing it as, but maybe it is just the end of it. But we will see. We will see pretty soon. But either way, it's a shame to see a title die, whether you've played it or not, whether you're excited about it or not. It's always a shame. But that is that, and that is the end of the scoop. We will wrap things up there. Unless do you have the Mafia link? We could just give a quick summary on that one.
Yep, just give me 1 second. It's on a different tab. Oh, I've got about 14 million tabs open because of the news. I will find it.
Gonna kill the Discord video feed. Whoop, he's gone.
Eurogamer. Oh, where's it go? Mafia 3. Eurogamer. As I'm trying to pad. There it is. Got it. In the chat.
Oh, in the chat. Oh, okay. I killed your Discord video feed because I thought you were going to send it me on Discord, and I've shown everything on Discord anyway.
Oh, sorry. I thought you drop it in the chat.
I was trying to make it look a little bit more professional. I still ended up showing you that we are just Discord video calling anyway. So never mind. The Mafia series. So obviously we're just going to quickly fire over this because we said we would include it yesterday. But the Mafia series is getting a trilogy re-release. Update Mafia 2 next week. Lavish Mafia 1 remake in August. These were on obviously Asim's list a little bit earlier on. We'll start off with the original. And then there's 2 updates to it too. So 2K's original trilogy of Mafia games are getting a re-release via a package called, fittingly, Mafia Trilogy. Today's brief teaser doesn't tell us much other than the trilogy's new platforms, PC via Steam and the Epic Games Store, PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Stadia, and to expect more details next week on Tuesday the 19th of May. But it fits with Mafia 2's recent reappearance on rating boards around the world, suggesting it was set for an imminent re-release on current consoles. After 2 years of silence, 2K's Twitter account sprung back into life at the weekend, blurting the word family just in time for Mother's Day in the US. The original Mafia released in 2002 for PC, PS2 and the original Xbox, and it was another 8 years until Mafia 2 arrived for PC, PS3 and Xbox 360 in 2010. Mafia 3 meanwhile turned up in 2016, and little links each was developed by different teams with their own settings and characters, and there's no official word yet on what to expect from the trilogy, though fan hopes are high for Mafia 2 to get the remaster treatment. For now, here's the teaser, and that's obviously not shown because of bloody cookie settings, even though I've just allowed the fuckers, but let me try. Is it gonna it's a Eurogame video as well, I'm not gonna play it because of the ads. Update 1. While we should have been waiting until next week to hear more of 2K's Mafia Trilogy plans, Microsoft has just posted details of its first entry, a lavish looking remake of the first Mafia game, onto its own storefront. The impressive looking new version of the game is named Mafia Definitive Edition and is listed for release on the 27th of August. Mafia 3 developer Hangar 13 is down as its developer. Part 1 of the Mafia crime saga, 1930s Lost Heaven, Illinois, remade from the ground up, rise through the ranks of the Mafia during the Prohibition era of organised crime. Its description reads, after running with the mob cab driver, Tommy Angelo is thrust into a deadly underworld. Initially uneasy about falling in with the Salieri crime family, Tommy soon finds that the rewards are too big to ignore. Here's our first look at the revamped Mafia Definitive Edition. It does look pretty tasty. Oh, yeah, those screens are sick.
Yeah.
GG.
They've done really well with that.
GG.
It's interesting how long they may have potentially been firing this game up on their side. Like, is this going to be a complete remaster like we've seen with Resident Evil, where it's slightly different, or is this just going to be updated textures and brought into this generation? I'm interested to see how it plays out. I can't imagine they're going to deviate from the story. But we'll see. It
looks as if, and I could be wrong, ask him, feel free to chip in. It looks as if so Mafia has been remade, but then he said in the chat the remake of Mafia looks good. Mafia 2 is more of a remaster. There we go. That's well, you've answered the question before but still welcome good games. So yeah, Mafia 2 is more of a remaster. Mafia 1 is remade, and you could tell that's been remade because look at how good, like, that scene in particular with the taxi cab looks Beautiful. So then update number 2. One final update, as it looks like Mafia 2's new version will arrive as soon as next week. Mafia 2 Definitive Edition, whose upgrades look less striking than that coming to Mafia 1 in August, has also just been revealed via Microsoft Store listing. It will feature all DLC content and is described as a remaster rather than a remake. Well, there's the question answered anyway, even though Asim's already done it. It's apparently set for launch next week on the 19th of May. So Mafia 2 next week, remastered. Mafia 1 remade is coming in August. Looks pretty tasty. Looks pretty tasty. Ooh, wrong button. There we go. Looks pretty tasty. But we are going to wrap things up. Thank you everyone for dropping in, staying with us throughout all of the scoop. We had a lot of articles to fly over there, which is why we kind of sped through the last few. I didn't even bother putting the discussing now slates on. We had to move that quickly. But we are going to wrap things up because we have some Master League content. We started our stream on the front page of Twitch on Wednesday evening. The Masters of the League pilot episode to 3,600 and odd people, almost 3,700 people tuned in to watch that stream. Obviously, we were on the front page of Twitch. It's not just because we are global icons. I mean, that does help, but still. There clearly won't be that many people today because it's just a Friday stream, not on the front page. But if you want to tune in for episode 2 of Masters of the League, we are going to continue with the gameplay. We got 5 or so games in, and we've won our first game at the end of the last stream, so we're hoping to kick on from there. That will follow this. If you want to watch the first episode before, it is up on YouTube, as this full podcast will be too. It's about 3 hours long, so sit down, get yourself a brew, a nice packet of crisps or something like that, watch the whole thing, and then, do you know what, a little bit later on today, probably tomorrow, depending on how long it takes to upload this second version, the second episode will be on YouTube too, and then you can watch live from there. Jobs are good. But we are going to disappear. Like I said, we'll be back shortly, but before we do, baby, as you dab, I mean, doesn't matter if you growl while you do it. Would you like to add anything?
Yes, if you do see any video game news knocking around the social media platform of your choice, then do feel free to join in with the show by tweeting at We've Got Ubinio, at Graham_Day, and of course at Ice Cream Uploads. We'll take your thoughts and impressions and give our thoughts and impressions in the very next show, which will be when, Mr. Graham Day?
10 a.m. on Monday.
Oh shit, it's Friday, isn't it?
Yeah. And the chatbot is dead.
Even though you sent me a link to do the startup thing, did I read it?
Well, we have a Discord. We will be using that for our Masters of the League stuff too. And one thing to add as well, if you want to be featured in Masters of the League and you've got 30 seconds of time free, you may have seen Arsenal Fan TV, you may have seen Full Time Devils, you may have seen Red Men TV and things like that. They do their own sort of like fan interviews after matches, obviously not right now because, you know, COVID and that, but where they get the fans' opinions, fans' impressions. Some of them really creative, some of them are quite emotive. Whatever your take on it, do whatever you want. We want you guys as fans of Ice Cream Uploads FC to send your videos in that we can include on our own fan TV channel. There is a section within Discord set up to do that. So if you want to be featured on the next episode, then please feel free to send your videos over. We may have to chop them down depending on what they include and so on, and to make them fit in time wise. But feel free to send your videos over if you want to be included in Masters of the League. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Okay, we are going to disappear. We have probably 10-minute-ish turnaround before we come straight back onto the channel. So don't go anywhere. Just sit and linger. Stare at our beautiful offline screen, and we will be back in about 10. Until then, feel free to use sexy emotes in the chat. The blue one. Use the blue one. Have yourselves a lovely day. And if we don't see you before Monday, have yourselves a lovely weekend. Remember,
stay frosty!
Stay frosty.